So the next part here is visibility is hide unselected. You might want to choose a couple of stories here, and then you want just to see just some of them. You can just choose them and hide the rest of the story. So as you can see, the subjects and items you've chosen and selected are being shown to you, and the other ones have got hidden. And actually, by this tool, you can see a particular part that you need, and the software will show you this special part. And again, I can choose them, click on this, and all of them will be returned. Or even to return all of them back, you can just come here and unhide all, and you can just return them again. It will show you all of the things that are hidden. So the next one is unrequire all. It means that if you've chosen some parts, let me go again a layer here until here, and then I will come here. So let me go in this part and let me require them. And as you can see, the things I've got required are being shown to you. It's a little messy. So because I don't know which items I've got required here, and I want to, for example, define them, or maybe just I want to just make them out of require mode, or I might want to just return it back, for example, to the default. I can go on require all, and then all of them will be out of require mode, like this. And then these were the 4 items that we had here. But actually we have another point here, that if you choose an object in Navisworks, in this toolbar, the one thing is added in the name of item tools. Actually, you can work with this tool with some special tools. You know, for example, I can choose different items here. I can say it will be a little element based, yes, for your job or just project. So actually, if I want to tell you about the usages of this part, I can say, for example, the first part is transform. Actually, this part will cause the changing of coordinate system, for example, or even, for example, the borders like move, rotate, scale, reset, transform, or, for example, returning that to the first point, actually. So the first part is move here. If I just click on it, you will see a sign here. So let me choose another just item out of this shape. Let me go in up stories, for example, here, like for example here. For example, this one or this one. So this tool, which I call it as a gizmo, has a yellow circle here, as you can see. And actually it has the borders X, Y, and Z, and it has again some sheets for Y, Z, and X, Z, as you can see, for example. Actually, if you click on any of these borders or sheets, for example, you can move the object that you've selected into every part that you like. For example, left to right, up and down, and everywhere that you want. For instance, I want to just move it into Y direction, or maybe Z direction, I don't know. So if I want to return it again into default mode, I can click on reset and it will be returned to its place. Let me tell you another point. Imagine that, for example, you will change all of the items in your screen, for example, this one here, and all of the items, you can just move them. And for example, you might, because you've changed many things from its own place, you might forget what you've changed. You can go on home and reset all, and just you can click on transform, and by this tool you can return all of the things you've changed before and into their own place. So this one was for example, resetting some items if you forget what you have to do, and this one is for reset, for example, transfer for one object. You have to know that if you change the place of any subject in this project, it doesn't make change in your main project, or maybe Revit, I don't know, everywhere that you've imported your project. Actually, one of the interesting part of this software is, for example, imagine that you have a kind of interference here among some subjects. Let me go back here. Just as an example, I have a kind of interference among some objects. For example, here, let me find a nice point in this project. For example, here, imagine that I want to just move this thing, for example, this tool a little more forward, and I want to just tell the person who is going to work by this project, the client, the manager of the company, the person whom you're gonna send the file for. So I can come here and then move the object. For example, I just move it into here, and then I can go on review. I I can by erase, write some notes on it. Actually, we'll talk about them later. We can reset the tool by this icon. Another point that I'm going to tell you is when you just click on an object, it will go on the center of that item or object. For example, you want to move an object and it will just go on the center. So if you want to change the direction of gizmo, for example, into corner of that object, you can press and keep control down. So at first you have to just put the camera view on a proper side that you can see this circle that is yellow and white. And then keep control button down, and then by mouse cursor you can just move it into down or every part that you want. Now as you can see, the gizmo is on a proper place and we can move the object that we want easier and more comfortable. And then if you want to, for example, hide this gizmo, you can just click on move and it won't be shown to you anymore. Also, you can't move the thing too. We have a sign here. If you go on that and just pin it, and then let me come here on item tools. The time I will just choose, for example, move, I will see this window that you can change the object by the numbers and positions and rotations and everything you see in this window. For example, by numbers you can change the place. This is an example. Just let me type 0.5 for example here, and as you can see the transform center is 4, and like this. And again, let me just type 0 for this and it will be returned on its own place. So I can enter numbers too.